Hey guys, I'm kind of bored, so we're gonna be doing some alternate history because, yeah. So what to do? What to do? um, so I think we're gonna start in Japan because oh honey, that's not the right color. That's not the right color either. What the fuck is the right color for Japan? That's not right. Bloody hell. How do you want? Okay, I'm just gonna use this one. So Japan is really cool, and they start thinking, hey, remember when we when we killed a bunch of people in World War II? That was really awesome and based. Remember when we and so they invade Russia. They invade Russia to take back their land in the Kuril Islands and Sakhalin. And they're like, yay, we're winning. Hold on a second. And then, oh man, which one is it? Is it that? Yeah, and then Russia. Let me just teleport over here. Now Russia are still fighting in Ukraine. Oh crap! Russia is still fighting in Ukraine. They're the Ukrainian counteroffensive counterfeit, but they're making progress. They have a new offensive going on, but they're kind of distracted because that's how countries work. They're kind of distracted, so they completely just don't realize that Japan's invading them. And also on Christmas Eve 2024, Belarus lets Russia annex it as a Christmas treat. So yeah, the Japanese, they're like, oh well, we already took this, I took the curls, my granddaddy took the curls, my daddy took Sakhalin, I gotta find my own land. And they're like, all right, we're gonna take all this land because Russia. Why would Russia care about this? It's Siberia. It's literally all worthless land with literally nobody living in it. I mean, they probably don't even want it anyway. And then Russia finally realized, like, oh shoot, skedaddle out of here, Japan. This is our land, not yours. I shall say no way to Norway. Make and they're like, oh, we gotta push back, and they do a little bit, and they take a little bit of ground back. But Japan's really good because their swords are really sharp and can cut through anything, even and block bullets. And then and then while they're walking along the border here, they actually just invade China, and Russia wins because their military adverts, recruitment ads are more manly than the Chinese ones, and then they're like, oh shoot, yeah, I forgot we're fighting Japan, and they go to that, yeah, and then they take it all back, all their land, and then they take over all of this part of northern China. Yeah, that looks cool. And then they're like, hey Korea, coming for you. Like that bit from Racist Mario. And then they're like, oh shit. So let me get a different color. So then they invade Japan, and they actually win because they have the more manly military recruitment ads. And they set up a base trad Soviet satellite state in Japan. Something like that. But they take these lands to use as a military base. And they also set up a puppet state in the Korean Peninsula as well. Yeah, that's cool. And then hold on a second. And then Putin loses the election to the new based trad monarch Tsar party. and all the governments change, and they become based czarist, vassal grand duchies of based trad Russia. People might say I'm biased to Russia, but I mean, I just think it's cool that they literally worship the gods from Skyrim. So, I mean, how could you hate them? This isn't meant to be political, by the way. This isn't meant to be a political thing. It's kind of just a bit of fun. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. I gotta change Russia's color. So yeah, they like the trad based monarchists party, and they bring in a new czar called Don DeMarco Bartholomewavius the Fourth. And people really like him or whatever. And they take over Russia. Well, I say take over, but it's a peaceful election when and yeah, can't forget that either. And Ukraine, Ukraine seeing this new base trad Russia Tsardom empire pop up, they're like, oh awesome, because we're Ukrainian, we're all Nazis, and we all love absolute monarchy, and we're all far right. So they just surrender and they join Russia. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. That's just how things would go, I think. Not biased. What else? So yeah, the UK is not doing so cool. And then a new leader comes in and he's like, well, I gotta distract people from how shit everything is now. So I'm gonna invade Norway. And they try invading Norway, and they take a little bit in the north as like a little base to use for like nuclear submarines. And then when they get around here, they start say no way to Norway, make Ireland an island.
Say no way to Norway,
so
make
they
Ireland
invade Ireland, and Ireland puts up zero resistance because Irish people don't traditionally fight back. Is my understanding. I'm very smart. And then Germany is like, you know what? We've had enough. we've had enough of We've had enough of the Democrats coming here and sending all our money to Israel. So they elect a party called the National Capitalist German Business Party. And they take over Luxembourg, and everyone's like, oh, what happened? Who cares? Because who cares about Luxembourg? And then they take over Liechtenstein, and everyone's like, oh, who cares? And then they take over Austria, and everyone's like, huh? Something happened? Because who cares about Austria either? And then they take over the German parts of Switzerland. And then, hold on a second. Oh, this is going to be a fight. I gotta find the right colour. Yeah. So then they give the French bit to France. And hold on a second. Yeah, and then they give the Italian bit to Italy, and it didn't exist anymore. And everyone's like, oh, okay, well, Johnny, you can do what you want. You gave us land, and that's cool. And then they attack Denmark, and everyone's like, oh, who cares? I mean, it's just Denmark. And then, Germany being really base and trad, but also really cringe at the same time. They're like, Poland, we had that land a couple of years ago. Maybe I'm thinking I want it back. and they're like, oh no, please. And Germany's like, Germany's really big and awesome and based. And everyone's like, and everyone in America, all the based QAnon patriots in America are like, no, what the fuck? You can't do that to based. Hold on a second. They're like, no, you can't do that to based trad Poland. Stop that now. and then Poland is like, he's like, hey Russia, you're really based and cool and trad and orthodox. Can you help us out because we're both based trad Slavic countries who don't have really high HIV rates and and Russia's like oh yeah, they took over Mongolia as well. And Russia's like, yes, but only if you become a puppet state. And Poland's like, yeah, well, I mean, I'll submit my independence and protect my independence if you insist, but only because you're based in trad, but not in the same way that the new German government is based in trad. So they submit to Russia, and they start pushing back the Germans, and they actually do a really good job because even though Germany has a new based ethnic government, and the leader really likes to paint, they hadn't made any manly recruitment ads yet. So the army's really bad and they lose and they get kind of stuck in a stalemate here. And then, because they're bored, one day Russia goes to Romania like, hey Romania, become a new puppet state of the Russian-based trad neo-empire. And they go, okay, but only if you promise not to arrest that guy who exploits women in my and doesn't pay taxes in my country. And they go, oh, fine. Even though we're based in trad, we're gonna protect the sex trafficking guy who claims to be religious but exploits women through pornography. And we're gonna give you Moldova as well because that's also Romania. We're gonna give you that little bit of land. And now Romania is really based and big and united. Oh crap! What was the color again? So then Britain's like, I see what Germany's doing with that based and trad government. We do that, and they elect a party called the National Norman Party, who changed the national language to French, but they're still based in trad English national, British nationalists. And they're like, we gotta take back our real homeland, and the Anglo-Saxons like, oh, cool, They're like we hate immigrants, and the Anglo-Saxon population are like, cool, when you leaving? And then they send them all to their deaths in a pointless war against France to take over Normandy because of some fucking stupid BS from like 1,000 years ago. And then they're like, but that's not enough. We need the Anglo-Saxon homeland too. So they take over like this part of northwest Germany. And Germany's like, you can have it, that was actually the worst part of my country, just so happened, And then Britain's like finally like, I think I will say yes way to Norway actually, and they take over the rest, but they don't make a pup state, they like directly annex it, and it's really cool. I'm not biased, by the way, I just want to reaffirm that. And then I'm not gonna touch that. And then they're like, hey Spain, knife, and they take this land from Spain, and these islands as well. And Spain's like, what the fuck? And Britain's like, well, yeah, but you're like the gay capital of Europe, so like, you can't fight back. You're physically incapable of fighting back because you must be like shit and weak and dumb. And then they're like, we're gonna take this off France as well. We're not gonna fight Italy actually though, because they're cool. And then, fuck. What was it? And then Britain's like, hey Italy, you could actually have Corsica. And they're like, oh thanks. And they also get some of this land off France while Britain's invading. And they also take over Malta because Malta is Italian. And they elect a new guy in charge called Giuseppe DeMarco Banban IV, and he's really popular, and he leads the the revival of the National Fascist Party in Italy. And people really liked them, they would, there's no reason they wouldn't ever dislike them. And they're like, we're gonna bring back the Roman Empire again. And then everyone's like sleeping like, me, 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 me. So they're like, oh, Italy, Italy, pizza time, haha, pizza time. And they started invading, like Croatia and Montenegro and Albania and stuff like that. And Bosnia, Bosnia, with their new, which actually recently got hit by a, which recently came to the acquisition of a black, massive, powerful alien pyramid, is like, listen, all right, Italy, this does not Mamma Mia, all right, and they fight back, and they actually do quite good because they have alien technology, and they take over basically all of this region. I didn't mean to give them that part. Oh no, crap. Okay, well that's the right color. Yeah, and so they take over all of this stuff. And they're basically like, all right, so our new leader, the boss, he's the epic-based dictator of Yugoslavia. And Italy's like, oh, but I really wanted to have my epic Roman LARP. I guess I'll have to go this way instead. So they just take more land of France because they're still weak and I don't know, they talk gay. And then they're like, we should take this island off Greece because it's a cool LARP to own little islands in the Mediterranean. And then they take Cyprus as well. How long have we been recording for? It's 17 minutes, holy shit. And then base tread, Russia goes, hey, Russia, vodka, bear, haha, Slavic, squat, base boosted memes, that are really funny. And everyone's like, oh, okay, well, I didn't care about any of those countries anyway. But then one guy from America actually happens to, and he actually just happens to be the president. I can't come up with a name for him. He has to be like, well, I'm actually 1/27th Lithuanian, and I LARP as a Lithuanian pagan, as a Baltic pagan on on X.com. So I'm going to demand that we invade Russia now. And of course they well, obviously I can't go wrap it back around, but they invade. Oh shit! What the fuck? They invade. Huh? Did I break the game or something? What the fuck? That's good to know. Thanks for the announcement. So yeah, hold on a second. Let me kill myself quickly. That sounded really good. That sounded better in my head, I think. Yeah. So they start going like oh, I'm American. I'm really obese and and they go like, I'm gonna invade Japan because it's part of America. Well, it should be part of America, and it's a Russian puppet. So we need the power. We need the land to stop, for like naval influence. And then they do the same in Korea, and surprisingly they do really well because America has a they/them army, and you wouldn't expect that to do well. But they keep pushing into, and they take a lot of eastern Siberia, and they I don't know, and they commit some war crimes or something. But it's okay because it's the country that. But it's okay if you like America. It's okay if they do it. Oh, those borders are really lindy. So then Russia's like, stop, fine. I guess them army wins this round, and they give Lithuania independence, but they give it back in a big way, and I mean in a big way. When we get big-based Lithuania. And then the Americans are like, yeah, I can go, we're gonna keep this land, but and stuff. But yeah, I can go back home now and like beat my wife and stuff. Yay! This is the worst fucking video I've ever making. Can't even keep character. This sucks. Right, guys, so where were we? So in West Africa. In West Africa, the situation is actually very interesting. And, it doesn't get reported on much in Western news, because the Western news decided, there was a small clash in Burkina Faso. I actually think Russia and Ukraine fighting an actual full scale hot war in Europe, which hasn't happened in like 70 years. I think that's a bigger deal, because they're Eurocentric. But a lot of interesting happenings are going on. So in Nigeria, a new guy wins. He's a dictator. And he's like, a country to my north that I can't say the name of. I think our names are too similar. You're going to join me. And they're like, no, but okay, fine, if you insist. And then, oh shit, and then, that's not it. I'll just use this anyway. And then this country, I don't care if it's the same as that one. And then this country, which actually, me and it have the same name, is like, I gotta get bigger. So he's like, Chad. And they invade Libya, so they have that coast on the Mediterranean. And now Chad has a cool hat or something. So, China. What's going on in China? Good question. Let's figure that out. Oh, there it is, yeah. So China is like, I kinda want that land back now that America's got it. And they take it, and America's like, what the deuce? China? You can't do that. And they're like, sorry, America, your they-them army is no match for our propaganda videos of 90-pound, 5'4" women, who are really good at martial arts. And America's like, oh, true that, and they just give up basically. How could my Abrams tank and most advanced fighter jet in the world beat a video on Twitter of a 50-kilogram, 4-foot tall Chinese woman who knows how to use a combat knife? How could we ever hope to win? And then they're like, oh crap, our entire population's declining because we still tell people it's bad to have children, and our society, it's not healthy for them to live in, and we poison our people with chemicals, and we all have we all just fucking rise in vapid consumerism to an even greater extent than the West. So that they're not having a good time. And the same thing's going on in Taiwan as well. And then they're like, declining population. I know to be smart. Let's occupy these two ethnic groups in their homelands that are different from the ethnic Han Chinese majority, and let's genocide them and try and forcefully assimilate them in their own homeland. Yeah, that's based. You know, awesome CCP at it again. They always know how to fix their situation. And then Rizriel is like, I don't know, they elect he's the theocrat, like, far right guy. They elect, well, he's dead, but they elect a Kahanist leader, and he's like, Rizriel, and they make Zion reach from the from the Suez Canal to like the Turkish the Turkish border as like a Jewish theocracy. This isn't meant to be a statement or anything, and I want to reaffirm that this especially is not meant to be any sort of statement on anything. And then America's like, oh yeah, you go my best buddy. You go my best buddy. You go my best buddy. And they send like $4 trillion to them, even though like they're like the richest country in that region. Okay, South America, big happenings going on in South America that you won't hear about, and on this side of the planet, because we live in the oppressive northern hemisphere, and these people are all living under our yoke with boots on the ground and stuff. And a bunch of Brazilians are like, I've had enough of this American Western puppet government, even though I'm a member of BRICS and I work a lot with China and Russia and not America. And and they're like, we've had a hashtag enough. And so they rise up in the deep woods of the Amazon, and because I'm a normal well-adjusted person who isn't a raging porn addict, all the hot Amazonian 7-foot-tall dummy mommy dabs help out the Brazilian uprising, and they kick the West out, and they just can't stop winning, and they just kill them, and they put they line up American diplomats on cliffs on the coast, and they're like, what are we gonna do with you? We're just gonna kill you, and they kick the West out, and they're like, okay, what should we do now that the West is out? I know, let's legalize wife beating, and I don't know, man. We've been going at it for 30 minutes, holy shit, or just about. And then America's like, hey Canada, we really like your maple syrup, and we kind of wanted to nationalize that and take you over. And Canada's like, no, but I'm full of pussies, so I can't stop them because I have a they them army, and they take it over. And it's like it's basically like no challenge, because Canada's just full of pussies and a they them army, as I already said. And they take over the important parts, and then they're like, Quebec, it's Christmas 2025. As a little treat, you got it, alright. You finally got it. Independence, alright. You finally got it. And then they even though they're occupied by a they-them army nation, a they-them nation like America, they elect a based in trad nationalist party that turned them into an absolute theocratic Catholic monarchy. With third positionist characteristics, and the Quebec flag becomes, well, it's the actual Quebec flag, but with the Sonnenrad on it, because they're based in trad and esoteric and third positionist. So in Australia, they have this referendum. They try reholding this referendum on the voice, the Aboriginal voice in Parliament, or it's called, and people are like, yeah, but it doesn't go far enough. We need to have the Aboriginal flag be the flag of Australia, and they need to be the ones in charge. We need to give the land back. Australia should be run by like 3% of the population, not like the rest of it. And you know, so they become, I don't know what, they become an Aboriginal ethnos, not ethnos there because there's non-Aboriginal people living there. They become they do like segregation, like Jim Crow in all of Australia, but it benefits the Aboriginals. and then they're like, Australia, spider stakes, Lord of the Rings, New Zealand, we're taking you over so we can force you to make more Lord of the Rings films, and we'll make you make another 8 Hobbit films. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can really think of. I'm getting kind of bored now. I'm gonna stop recording, and I'll talk to you later, baby girl. I know we couldn't Skype tonight, but that's alright. Good night, sweet pea.